The story you're living right now, the one where every day feels like pushing a boulder uphill, where the system seems designed to swallow your fire instead of feed it. Yeah, that story won't change unless something shifts deep inside those hands of yours. It's not about luck or fate. It's about harnessing capitalism, not as some cold game of greed, but the most powerful engine the world has ever known for unleashing real stunning change. When capitalism finds its way into the right hands, hands like yours, the impossible starts to look like yesterday's problem. You know the struggle. Ideas get watered down, innovation gets boxed into endless rules, and the very things that make you exceptional get sidelined for the sake of fitting in. Founders, investors, leaders, you're sitting on wild potential, but the world's noise tries to convince you to settle, to keep your genius silent, to dim your fire for comfort's fake promise. The system tells you, play safe, scale slow. Follow the script. But deep down, you know that's not freedom. That's the illusion of it. And every second you accept it, that illusion tightens around your throat like a noose. But imagine flipping the script. Imagine capitalism, stripped of all the distractions and false promises, working for you. Not a monster, but a tool. A weapon wielded by those who refuse to live a life half-lived. This isn't the capitalism you learned in school, the one blamed for inequality or wrecked by greed. This is capitalism unchained, raw and electric, when it's placed in the hands of those willing to burn the rulebook and build from ashes. It's about relentless creation, radical freedom, and the power of aligned individuals who refuse to settle for anything less than rewriting the future. What happens first, what every single one of you must understand, is that capitalism in the right hands isn't about money alone. It's about sovereignty. It's about reclaiming your will, the masterpiece that it is, and using it as your sharpest weapon in a world that's desperate to dull it. It's uncomfortable, sure. It will slice through tradition, through mediocrity, through every lie the comfort crowd swears by. But it's necessary. Because the greatest form of slavery today isn't chains or cages. It's convenience dressed as freedom, chains made of conformity, and comfortable lies that kill the self. You're not here to join a crowd. You're here to lead a revolution that doesn't ask for permission, doesn't wait for approval, and certainly doesn't bow to outdated rules. This new capitalism recognizes that true progress doesn't roll out from the middle. It explodes from the edges, from the few who refuse to bend, who refuse to unlearn their genius, who refuse to trade passion for cogs in an indifferent machine. It's messy, it's raw, it's unapologetically yours. But here's the real treasure you must clutch. Freedom isn't found by searching in the usual places. It's found by daring to be misunderstood, by isolating yourself from the safe spaces built to keep the average average, by linking not with millions, but with the rare few who burn at your frequency. This isn't about scaling noise, it's about amplifying essence. When you connect with others who refuse to compromise their edge, you create something the world can't stop, something designed not for profit alone, but for purpose. That's why every founder, every investor, every leader watching this right now must hear this loud and clear. Your potential is not just about building businesses. It's about freeing yourself from the system's cage, transforming your very reality so you don't chase freedom, you embody it. That means being ruthlessly selective with who you trust, aligning with those who are ready to burn brighter than the safety of anything you've ever known. Patience becomes your weapon, the long game your only home. Because the impact that matters, true impact, is never instant, it is eternal. But if capitalism in the right hands unleashes individual power, it also weaves that power into an unbreakable network. This isn't a network of followers, but a web of sovereigns, each one dazzlingly unique, deeply complementary. Where one sparks, the other fans the flame into a blaze big enough to reshape worlds. It's an autonomous ecosystem where misaligned brilliance becomes aligned force, where difference isn't a threat but a source of unmatched strength. That synergy is the future, and it's waiting for those unafraid to break the mold. And you might be thinking, this sounds amazing, but how do I start when everything around me tells me to stay small, keep quiet, conform? That's the hinge moment. The very moment where you choose to stop waiting for the world's validation and start building on your terms. Here's the secret. The The system doesn't give you space for exceptional. It's not broken. It's designed to protect mediocrity. So the solution isn't asking permission to be exceptional. The solution is creating your own infrastructure, where exceptional isn't just allowed, it's demanded. Capitalism in the right hands isn't about fitting into old systems. It's about tearing down the old to build the new. This means breaking free from the comfort of so-called stability and chasing the fire beneath every challenge, every failure, every risk. When risk is transformed from a villain into an ally, it becomes the only way to make the unseen real. You don't just fund ventures, you ignite movements. You don't just build companies, you craft legacies. It's about redefining what's possible by refusing to accept the usual boundaries that strangled your ancestors. But the most powerful part? When capitalism is wielded by people who own their sovereignty, who question everything and transform relentlessly, it breaks open a floodgate of new realities. You don't just participate in the market, you remake the market in your image. You change who makes the rules, who keeps the rewards, and who determines the future. This isn't any ordinary capitalism. It's a rebellion against the tired systems that tell you who you can be. It's an uprising of personal freedom through the tool of market forces. And remember, this is not about chasing belonging or approval. It's about crafting your becoming, every day, every moment. There's no room here for compromise on your fire. If you're tired of living a borrowed life, if you're done with the quiet ache of knowing you were meant for more, then this is your call. The call isn't easy, and it's certainly not for everyone. It demands everything you've got, and then asks for more. But in return, it gives you the only thing more valuable than money or power: your life, untamed and truly yours. So look at your hands right now. Not just the flesh and bone, but the force they carry. This moment, this breath, is the genesis of everything you could be. The world might not have built a place for the exceptional, but you can. Capitalism, when it's in the right hands, is not just a system. It's a seismic force, a tool for the few who refuse to wait for change and instead create it. You're not here for easy. You're here for real, for lasting, for unleashed. And the truth? The future isn't waiting. It's already in your hands. Don't let it slip away, for the fire you thought was buried is the very thing that will burn down the walls and light the way. This is not a dream. This is your time. Capitalism in the right hands changes everything. The question is, will yours be among those hands?